What's up, guys? So I wanted to make this video last year, didn't get around to it. I went through a lot last year, and this is me making the video where I finally open up about things that I've experienced and the way it makes me feel. So last year I went to the gym, experienced a slight nerve injury, some type of muscular thing. I still don't fully understand what it is, like in the back of my neck or something like that. So what happened was it led to me experiencing this radiation of tingling sensation down both of my arms. It was the day after my birthday. I went to get it checked out at an urgent care, and they couldn't figure out what it was, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I had no idea what it was. So they ran an EKG on me. She read it and was like, whoa, this is concerning. So before I even could comment on it, they called 911. Told me they called 911. I literally felt my life flash before my eyes. I was like, what is happening? She said, you might be having a heart issue. I'm like, you think I'm having a heart attack? And she's like, we still have to rule that out. And I was like, oh my God. So immediately where my brain goes is, Ethan, you're having a heart attack right now. And I just felt the room start spinning. I felt my surroundings get blurry. I just felt like everything was falling apart and collapsing around me. I literally felt like my whole life flashed before my eyes. I was like, is this what it feels like to die? Is this what it feels like to leave? Especially knowing that I haven't accomplished the things I want to accomplish yet. And all these thoughts just surged through me in a matter of like 10 seconds before I know that the paramedics are there. And I tell them, I'm like, guys, do you think I'll be okay? They're like, yeah. But I'm already in that heightened state by the time they get there. I'm already like convinced that this could be it. Like, I had just turned 29 the day before. I was like, bro, I just turned 29, this could be it. So they wheel me into the ambulance, they take me there. I've already accepted that either it's gonna happen or it's not gonna happen. I didn't really know what to expect, but I was trying to reassure myself and tell myself, hey, you're gonna be fine. And they run the tests on me, they run a new EKG on me, they do all this stuff just to come back with a sheet of paper or a pamphlet of paper a few hours later saying, hey, you're good, you're healthy, you don't have any heart problems, you just have anxiety. It's all mental. And so begins, as the title of this video, opening up about my mental health. The following month, July 2025, I received a more formal diagnosis for OCD, which stands for Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, which I've heard is classified as an anxiety disorder. So right now I'm having anxiety visually. I'm not gonna edit this, like these breaths I'm taking, I'm visually out of breath right now as I'm talking about this. This is an insanely heavy subject. I wanted specifically to film this video while I was experiencing anxiety and distress instead of wait until I was calm, because I wanted to be more in the moment and authentic. I didn't want to wait until I was perfectly okay to shoot this video and show you guys. So going back to what I was saying, obsessive compulsive disorder was what I got diagnosed with. I was in an outpatient program. I started doing ERP therapy, which stands for exposure response prevention. I started doing all these things I had never really done before: journaling, meditation, more mindful prayer, as opposed to before it was more so a compulsive prayer, which is a whole other category. Like when you have OCD, you have things called compulsions, and compulsions are what you do to soothe yourself, to make yourself feel better. And so I didn't realize how many compulsions I truly had. And when I got diagnosed with OCD, when I learned about compulsions were my relationship to food, my relationship to prayer, my relationship with my faith, my relationship to music, my relationship to just seeing this sunset in front of me right now, my relationship to everything started to change because I started to realize there's a difference between me doing things compulsively to soothe my anxiety and me doing things out of a genuine care in my heart. And I'm realizing, me doing healthy things don't count as compulsions. Me shooting this video is not a compulsion. This is me following my own rules. And one of my rules states that I will share my story with others. And, last year I experienced something really scary. I still have these little health scares here and there that are, of course, exacerbated by my anxiety. And I want people out there to know that you're not alone. And that me, the person that I am, still doing my best to live this life and live it to the fullest, I'm right there with you. I know what it feels like to be uncertain. And what I'll tell you is this: if you have OCD, that uncertainty never comes. Sit with that for a second. Because I'm still sitting with that. I'm 6 months into real treatment, 6 months into really trying to face everything. And the number one thing I've learned is that uncertainty is never solved. I was uncertain before, I'm uncertain right now, and I'll be uncertain in the future. God willing that I'm still here to talk to you guys. I hope to be alive for a very long time. I love my life and I want to continue living it. But uncertainty is something that we have to accept. And a lot of people who I've loved, who I've liked, who I've just been in close quarters with have also had OCD, some of which have been undiagnosed, but we've all grappled with this fear of uncertainty. And I know for all of my life, up until last year where I really had that terrifying experience that led to my diagnosis, I realized I didn't do the best job of grappling with uncertainty. I actually struggled with it. And it takes a lot for me to be this candid about it because it doesn't always feel good to talk about this. In fact, it usually feels the opposite. It's cathartic in a way, but the catharsis usually hits a little bit after. I didn't necessarily want to talk about this, but I realized last year that eventually I had to. So now here we are, we're in 2026. I'm finally fulfilling that promise and letting you guys know that if you struggle with anything like this, you are not alone. I'm still learning, I'm not perfect, and one of the morals of the story is that I will never be perfect. And I have to be okay with that because healing is being okay with uncertainty and being okay with imperfection, being okay with not having the answers today. Yeah. Reassurance, man. Reassurance is one addictive thing. And I'll probably make another video, actually definitely make another video where I go into the details of why reassurance is so sometimes dangerous. But right now, I just want to leave off with saying thank you. Thank you for listening. This was me literally scratching the surface of the things that I've experienced anxiety-wise. It's the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more I want to talk about, but I just want to say thank you for listening. And to anybody out there who's struggling with OCD, anxiety, they struggle with handling distress, you're not alone. And even people that you think have it all together, they don't. And in one form or another, all of us are here together. And we're in this together. I love you. Thank you for listening.